Okay, guys, welcome back again to Daily News Hype. As I told you, we are going to have a series on agriculture. We already finished habaneros pepper, so there'll be a link in the description. If it's the first time you're watching the channel, you can go to the link and then go and watch the video. It's a very educated video. Now, young cucumbers. You can see this very nice cucumber here. We will talk about how you can grow it, the best farming practices for it, and most especially growing cucumber in the greenhouse. If you've gone into open field before, you will know how stressful it is to control the insects. But here, the insects and the whole crop is in a more controlled environment. So sit tight, take your pens, book, paper, iNotes, Samsung Notes, Techno, Infinix, iPad, whatever you use, or your yam, and let's watch the video. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe. So Mr. Prince is going to introduce himself again, and then Agric Impact, and don't forget, we are in Brekuso.
Yeah. Thank you. Again, I'm Prince Boateng, the production manager at Agric Impact Entrepreneurship and Technology Institute, AETI, at Brekusu.
So, cucumber farming.
Great.
So, what variety of cucumber is this?
Okay, first and foremost, cucumber is actually one of the fastest growing crops when it comes to greenhouse production.
So, how long does it take?
Just 2 months and you start harvesting.
2 months?
Yes, that's even from nursery to the very first fruit.
That means you can plant about 3 or 4 times a year.
Exactly. 3-4 cycles in a year and then you are done.
No. And how's the market for cucumber like?
It is also a very good selling crop in the sense that a lot of people are now becoming health conscious, and cucumber in itself does a lot of things. So a lot of people are now going in for cucumbers in every angle. So it has a good market and the demand for it is constant.
Wow. So now let's start from the beginning. So do you nest the seedlings or you just plant them straight?
Okay, when it comes to cucumber, quite a number of people do the direct, which is called the in situ. Do the direct seeding into your medium or your soil. But we do the transplant, so we do the nursing of the seeds, in the sense that we want to give that maximum attention, as we mentioned, to that foundation stage of your crop before it comes into the greenhouse. So whenever we do the nursing, it stays for 2 to 3 weeks and then we transplant, depending on a number of things.
Okay.
Unlike pepper, which takes 5 to 6, 7 weeks, cucumber just starts showing its first true leaf after the first week.
Oh, I see.
That's possibly in the second week, and then you have your crops almost ready for transplanting.
So the 2 months you mentioned, does that include the nursery period?
Exactly.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, then it's not bad.
It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. So right after nursery, we make sure that we transplant them within 2 to 3 weeks, and then they are good to go. Let me add dates to it just to make it a bit clearer for some few people. Now, if I transplant my cucumber in 1st January, my first flower will shoot on 15th January.
Whoa.
And my first fruit around 25th. And I'll start harvesting around the 10th of February.
Wow.
That's how fast cucumbers are.
Oh, that's crazy. So what's the average price? Like, what you're holding like this? How much does it sell for?
Again, depending on the market demand, every cucumber we have varieties. Some like it a bit darker. Some like it also a bit bigger or huge than what we have. But our market preference considers this for their market.
Okay.
So maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of this can give us a kilo. And it sells from 5, 6, 7, 8, some as high as 10 cedis.
Oh, I see.
Other varieties, the very bigger ones, 2 or 3 can give you a kilo. And it also has its market price around 5, 6, 7, 8, depending on the market of the.
So how many crops are in this tunnel?
So this is a 300 square meter tunnel.
Oh, that's bigger than what we went to initially.
Yes, a bit bigger than what we have. And then this takes 700 plants. Let's
Wow.
see. Yes.
So let's talk a bit about the agronomic practices. So I'm comparing this to open field. Do you control the same amount of pests? Do you control the same? Use the same insecticides? Use like how do you schedule it? Do you spray weekly?
Yeah.
Do you use spray or do you use fertility? I mean, just give us an idea about how it goes.
Okay, so I made mention for a fact that whatever happens in the greenhouse doesn't mean it is insect free. No, we have insects that do thrive in this kind of environment, and then we have others that also love to attack this kind of crops. So when it comes to the greenhouse, or when it comes to greenhouse production of cucumbers, what we do is preventive. So we do not wait for the insect to come in before we spray against it. Instead, we make sure that we prevent them from coming in to attack the plants. And that is why we mostly have our crops looking much better than that of the open field. The only disadvantage the open field farmers do have is the fact that they welcome anything at any time in any period. Whether it rains or shine, you can have disease or pest attacks. Unlike the greenhouse, whether it rains or shine, we know the particular insects that attack the plant and then they thrive here. So we always make sure we are preventing those kind of insects from thriving. So here we minimize our spraying and all those kind of controls compared to the open farm.
So do you apply it quickly? Is it every 2 days, every 3 days? How do you go about it?
Okay, so there is a schedule. At the vegetative stage,
what is the vegetative stage?
When it is leafy and then the flowers and the fruits are now forming.
Okay.
That is the vegetative
before
stage.
Flower forms.
Before flower forms. At that period, we do weekly spraying, but different active ingredients. Let's say, if you come for the training, we'll make sure we expose you to all of this. So at that point, because there isn't any fruits, any spraying or control methods you use, the residual content tends to move out within a period. And when we are nearing the fruiting stage or a period to the harvesting stage, that is when we resort to the biological kind of spraying. Or
when you say biological, is it biological for insects?
Exactly.
Okay.
Insects and then let's say pests and diseases.
Okay. So what kind is it? What type of biological?
The biological, we use the neem oils and then the likes.
Oh, okay.
Exactly. So that we wouldn't have residuals or residues in the fruit or the crop for consumption.
Oh, I see.
Exactly.
So it means that once you're using, because it's more organic, you're able to use it even when it's fruiting.
Exactly.
Oh, that's great.
Exactly.
That's great. So if you take all that into consideration, so it means that basically every week you give it a lot of insecticide.
I don't want to say
or you give it the quantity it needs.
Exactly. And then you see, it is a controlled environment, so whatever we apply in here stays. So it is very effective. Having that in mind, we know that nearing the fruiting stage itself, it is ready for consumption. So anything you spray might stay in there for a longer period. So we resort to the biological. So when it is like 2 weeks to harvesting, we change our spraying schedule. Instead of doing a week, maybe we sometimes do 1 week or 2 weeks ahead of time. We harvest and then we allow another space before
you harvest.
Yeah, exactly.
And as I was reading about cucumbers, I realized that when they are reaching their fruiting stage, it needs more water.
Exactly. Every crop, previously as I said, every crop at a stage needs an amount of volume of water. Cucumber, as you see, has broader leaves. It simply means it will transfer or expand more. So whenever there is so much sun, it will need to bring out much from what it has taken from the leaves. So if you do not replace what it has lost from the leaves, it simply means it's going to shrink. You are not going to have the required sizes. So cucumber compared to pepper and then tomato demands more water than
I see.
the others.
So if there were 3 important things that any cucumber farmer should know, what would you say that would be?
1, the variety.
Okay.
2, your area.
What do you mean by area?
Now your locality will serve you the insect you are going to battle.
Okay.
And then possibly the 3rd one will be the market preference.
Market preference.
Exactly.
So what variety are you holding?
So this is the Midas.
Midas.
Exactly.
Okay.
From a seed company.
this seed company you don't want to mention.
When you come in for the training, we are going to let you know all the certified seed companies.
So
please join
training,
us.
Is it online or is it in person?
So we have both in person and then online and even private ones. All you need to do is to call the number 0546790895, and then we will let you know exactly
the number
when we are
you
having.
went too quickly with the number.
0546790895.
Okay.
Then with this, we'll let you know our scheduled training. If you want to join us privately too, we can also schedule a time for you as well.
Oh, okay. So now let's be more specific about greenhouse farming cucumber. Yeah, it's cucumbers. So we know that usually if you are farming cucumbers on open field, there are certain kind of fertilizers to be used. Do you do the same with cucumbers?
In the greenhouse, yes, we do. But the advantage we have as greenhouse farmers is everything is very well calculated. Unlike, let me say, the open field, you apply any amount at any given time. But in the greenhouse, because we are using the cocoa pit, which is soilless, it has no nutrients. We tend to give what the plant needs, the quantity it needs at that given time. So even with our application of fertilizers, it is at the lower rate, very low, because at each time of the plant's life, there is something it needs more. So we do not abuse our fertilizers or chemicals.
Okay. Now one more question, which is a bit more general. So if for this size, right, we went to a smaller size, the 210, and then we come to the 300 and
this 300 square meters.
300 square meters. Okay, so if somebody is starting for the first time greenhouse, which size would you recommend to the person?
I'll always say the bigger the better. So even
why is the bigger the better?
You see, it's an investment. That's the whole truth. It is an investment. So if you go in bigger, that's when you are able to break even and then get your returns at a larger scale. Except you haven't been trained much, that is when you would have to try it on a smaller scale first and then you introduce it into the bigger scale. But if you are already someone who is actually an agripreneur, come in for the training, get trained in a month or two with your farm hands, and then from there I would advise you go into it on a bigger scale than a smaller.
Okay, so guys, you've heard it yourself. If you need, or in fact, not if you need, you have to need. In fact, you need it. And so, if you have planted cucumbers before, nobody needs to tell you about what you are going to battle on the open field. And this solution is there to give you a more controlled environment. And so, whenever, we are going to, as you will see through the video, that we are going to show you different shots. I'm sure you saw the shots of the irrigation system and everything you need. Apart from just they not using the soilless medium, you also do irrigation. And so when you come and meet them up, or when you speak to them, they are going to give you a complete assessment, and then they'll take you through all you need to do to set up the system right. And so give them a call, the number below, that is Agric Impact Limited, and then you'll be taken very, very good care of. And when you go and then you get your results, make sure you leave a comment, leave a good comment, so that people also know that you got a good service, and then we'll try them out. So don't forget to like the video, share, and then we're going to meet you guys next time. Don't forget, when we're going to talk about pepper, that is the green pepper, and we're going to talk about tomato farming also. Like the video. See you next time.